For over the last decade or so, I've worked alongside many property developers, and I've noticed something. They approach money differently, and it seems to work. Their strategies goes beyond just construction. These are lessons we can all learn and apply to our own day-to-day finances. The first major point is always to reinvest in yourself. The developers always reinvested their profits into future projects. You should do the same with your own earnings. This could be as simple as learning a new skill, maybe going into higher education, starting a new business, upgrading your skills. But once you invest in yourself, those dividends pay out for the rest of your life. The way I like to think about this is you're laying down the foundations for your own financial future. Stop micromanaging every single penny. The developers that I've worked with, they often focus on big ticket items, the things that really matter. They will take ages agonizing over whether it's the right location, whether it's the right design of the property, rather than just which tap fixture goes into the bathroom. Instead of obsessing over small costs, focus on the larger strategy moves. Moves like investing, paying off high interest debt, and saving for your big goals. There is a really good YouTuber, and he did a Netflix series, and his whole focus, which I very much agree with, it's you spend the money on the things you really, really like. Then you cut down on the things you don't. So in my example, I really like tech, so I spend a lot of money on tech, but I don't care about which brand t-shirt I wear, so I don't spend almost any money on that. If you like that coffee, don't worry about it. Just make sure it's all accounted for in your budget and think big changes rather than penny pinching. The next key point is to take your time and build things properly. Rushed projects lead to problems down the line, and building wealth is no different. This applies to everything, like building an emergency fund, waiting for the right investment opportunities, or growing a business. In this current world, a lot of people want things now. Everything we can do is easily accessible. We can order something, it's delivered to your door within a few hours. When it comes to building wealth, once it's something takes a long time to work for, it's actually valued a lot more as well. So make sure you're in it for the long game. There's a business owner who's also got a very popular YouTube channel called Alex Hormozi. He was saying that whenever he speaks to someone, he can tell how successful they're going to be by just the time horizon that they're talking about. If they talk in days or weeks, he knows that they're only after the quick fixes. But if they're talking in years or decades, then he knows they're looking at the bigger picture, and their likelihood of achieving success is far higher. One of the things I do really admire about the developers we work with is their ability to actually manage the risk. So when I talk about risk in the development process, it is starting a project. You don't know what's under the ground. You can do tests, but until you start actually digging the foundations, there is all sorts of problems. So there's the obvious risks in that. There's a financial risk. They're typically investing a lot of money up front on the hopes that their property will sell for more once completed in the future. They obviously do a lot of preparation for this in order to try and calculate and mitigate those risks. Whether you're investing in stock markets, in starting your own business, switching a career, know the downsides before you make any moves. The whole point of taking the risks, the goal is to mitigate risks, not avoid risks entirely. So just like developers, they hedge their bet by buying insurance, diversifying their portfolios, you can do the same thing. Learn skill stacking. This is where you learn one skill and then you build on that skill. Let's say sales. If you're really good at selling something, then you learn how to code. Now you're a coder who can also sell incredibly well. Then let's say you specialize even further in AI coding. Now you're an AI coder who can sell incredibly well. Do what you can to try and limit the risks while also still pushing yourself. As in this world, if you're not pushing forward, you won't get anywhere. Along with mitigating risks, the developers I've worked with also have a good ability at using other people in order to help advance them. For developers, this often comes in by leveraging the cash of other people. So banks, private individuals, investment firms, development funders. Developers use the financing of loans or investors to scale. You can use the same mindset to do the same thing. So for personal finance, this is like buying a mortgage, exactly the same thing, very transferable, or using credit cards to fund your business. These are all come with risks, so do be careful. If you know what you're doing, you can actually utilize these really well. And it isn't just financial leveraging, it's using who you know as well. And that's what they do exceptionally well. They have contacts, leverage the people around you to do what you need. So if you're starting a new business, talk to your friends, talk to your family, get them to try it first before you go to the market. Use those people to give you invaluable feedback. And remember, leverage works best when you've done your homework. So make sure you manage the risks on top of that. Surrounding yourself with experts literally is invaluable. Look for professionals online that are offering brilliant free content so that you can actually learn from them in order to maybe find the best place to put your money. And remember, the key thing is you're not expected to know everything. That's why you rely on others, especially experts. Developers have a keen eye when it comes to looking for potential in things, and you need to be in a position to take advantage of opportunities that come up. So developers see value in things like neglected buildings, barn conversions, a bit of land that could be used for planning. And this is the same mindset that you should put into your finances. Look out for opportunities, be open to opportunities. For example, I wouldn't have even started a business had I not have had somebody approach me to see if I wanted to purchase some leads for a deal. I said no to that opportunity, but I said, if you have any that no one else wants, I'll happily take them, and then we can do a profit split. And after that, we did a couple of those. They worked out really well, and then it just rolled from there. But if I had said no to that opportunity, who knows where we would have been. So sometimes the biggest rewards you can find are from getting and spotting potential where others might not have. So keep your eyes open. Developers rarely think in the short term. Each of their projects take at least a year from ideation all the way to completion. Then if you want to include selling the property, refinancing the property, that can take ages. So invest in the long term. If you take a look at someone like the world's most famous investor, Warren Buffett, he started to earn most of his wealth later in life. When asked what was key to his success, he said good genetics, because he got to live a long time. And that's precisely what we mean. We don't want you obviously to just be rich when you're old, but if you think slightly longer term, these effects that we talked about earlier can really compound. So things like investing in the stock market, you can build your retirement fund over time. These are all real good places where you can put your money and watch it grow. So keep your eye on the long game. Slow and steady always wins a race. So in summary, think like a developer, reinvest in yourself, focus on the big picture, build slowly, embrace calculated risk, seek expert advice, and think big. Which of these lessons resonated the most with you? If you think this video could help someone else, give it a like and share, and thanks for watching. So for the last decade,